Thank you for coming down. Is that better? Oh, I don't really need one of these, obviously. I think this is about to go away. Is that better? How about if I stand back and enunciate and use my voice a little more? Well, thank you for coming, everyone, to the program. My name is Dennis Heron. I'm the upper school principal and assistant headmaster. And on behalf of Kathy Pinson, our director of curriculum, and the entire upper school faculty, I'd like to welcome you to tonight. And I know we all have very busy schedules. It's cold out. And so we're not going to take much of your time this evening, but what we would like to do is offer a bit of information to you regarding the upper school program. You all picked up some brochure materials as you walked in. Some of you probably already have upper school students. Many of you are new to the upper school. And so the purpose of tonight's program is really to help those of you who have not made a decision yet as to whether or not you would return to Trinity Prep for high school. Hopefully we can give you some information that will help you determine and make an informed and good decision on that. And for those of you who have already made the decision, then it's, I think, a beginning of a transition for you to talk about what the upper school is about and what the opportunities are that are available in the upper school. As many of you already know, Trinity Prep is an opportunity and it's a sacrifice. It's an opportunity for young men and women and their parents to experience an education in an environment that's challenging, yet nurturing, stimulates growth, and encourages critical thinking, and stresses that service to the community and the arts and athletics are as important. This is really bothering me. I apologize for this. Are as important. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I might be the only one you can hear. I thought you could hear me. There is an important classroom lesson, and it's an opportunity for our students to gain lifelong lessons, an opportunity to gain lifelong returns on investments. It's not just about GPAs and getting into a good college. It's about acquiring and honing the requisite skills to be leaders in the college classroom and other activities, and eventually leaders in their chosen profession and community. There is sacrifice with opportunity. If you've been here for a while, you know, as a student, your sacrifice is that you're being held to a higher standard, but being rewarded by a more generous grading scale. It's making an investment of hard work and diligence in the classroom and on the playing fields and in stages. An investment is completely doable and worth every effort. And I think you'll hear that from Alice a little bit later when she speaks to you. If you want to succeed, students, you will. For parents, it's an investment of encouragement, support, and yes, it's an investment of tuition. It's providing a supportive and helpful environment and schedule at home so students are able to succeed. It's reinforcement of the value of education and the skills necessary to be successful at home and at school. And it's also making sure that your children are here regularly, on time, and prepared to learn. And we know you've all recently just received the re-enrollment contracts for next year, and we know that sending your children here is a sacrifice of resources. And I encourage you to not only read the letter that Mr. Mon wrote to you just the other day, but also take a little time to watch the video that he attached to that, because I think it will help you better understand the value associated with the Trinity Prep experience. I think many times as a middle school parent, middle school family, it is easy to think that upper school is much of the same. And there is a consistency with our schools between the middle school and the upper school, but there are also a lot of opportunities and differences that are associated with it. And there's also an increase in responsibility and an increase in what we expect of our students. So please keep our mission and our core values in mind, and know that we allocate our resources very carefully and wisely with the direct benefit of our students in mind. And as you continue to read about local public schools and budget crisis, cutbacks, and extracurriculars, remember that Trinity Prep is committed to continuing and maintaining excellence in all programs: academic, athletics, fine arts, community service, and clubs. We're committed to maintaining a low student-teacher ratio. and because we believe it is important in maintaining relationships on campus. And finally, we are committed to helping families who may experience financial challenges and continue to do this by maintaining a generous financial aid budget, which many may know or may not know about. So we still have a very generous financial aid budget for 2015 or 14-15 school year. And tuition assistance is a confidential process, and we encourage you to contact Sherry Hay if your financial situation changes, such as you may not need some assistance with our tuition. Yesterday, Ms. Benson and I spoke to the 8th grade students, and we mentioned a little bit over 6 months that they'll be leaving middle school and beginning their upper school careers. And we also discussed an outline of the program that we're going to go through and introduce them to the upper school. Our goal really is to make the transition from middle school to upper school as easy as possible. I'm going to stop right now, and I'm going to have Alex Nebel, our student council president, come up and speak to you for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to split off and have the students go in different directions and have a little bit smaller environment here with the parents. So, Alex? Yes. Sorry. That's not cool. Alex can do it.
No, fix it.
You can fix anything.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Alex Nebel, and I'm student body president. And I've attended Trinity since 6th grade, and I've loved every minute of it. Although at first I was afraid of beginning a new chapter, it was comforting knowing that I was going to Trinity, a place where the teachers are so passionate and very incredible at what they do. And I was attending it with some of my best friends that I had known since 6th grade. Whether or not you decided to make your decision, I'd like to share a couple of things about my time here at Trinity. When I first began high school, I had no idea which extracurriculars or activities I wanted to get involved with. But moving from middle school to high school at Trinity is like entering a whole new world, and there are so many more opportunities to get involved with. All of the teachers are very encouraging with getting involved as much as possible, and they also serve as great role models and mentors for balancing academics with extracurriculars. I've been involved with student council, newspaper, speech and debate, volleyball, and community service. Staying at Trinity for high school was one of my best decisions that I've made, and as my time here nears a close, I can honestly say that I am grateful for everything this amazing school has given me. Thank you.
Chip. Okay. I'm done with mine anyway.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to split up and let the students go with some teachers that we have asked to come. So I'd like Mrs. Parker and Ms. Ashcraft and Ms. Matthew Burmeister, Mr. Rozier, and Mr. McDenzie are in the back. So students, if you'll just go back there, they're going to take you back with some upper school students. And break up, so they're going to have some time to talk to the students and ask questions. Your tuition dollars work better than what you've done. So we're going to have a couple of more folks talk to you tonight about certain areas of the upper school, and really try not to have you sitting and listening too much longer. So what we want to do is take, probably 30 minutes or so and have some people talk to you, and then have some time at the end that you can ask any questions you might have. We'll give a little time for some general questions for everyone, and then some people are a little less apt to ask a question out loud. We'll be around at the end of it, so when we dismiss, if you want to come up and ask an individual question, that is also fine. So I'd like to start by just asking Kathy Pinson, our Director of Curriculum, to come up and talk to you a little bit about some of the things that are in your folder.
I would encourage you, since we're a micless, if you want to move down a little bit, if you're struggling with hearing things, we can take a second for you to move down. One, two. Okay, let's try this. Hello. Okay, this will be fun. Good evening and welcome. I'm Kathy Pinson. I'm Director of Curriculum. I work with a script because I've done this before without a script, and at the end I say, oh, I forgot to tell them, so I've written it down. The Trinity academic experience is challenging, exciting, and definitely lays the foundation for future success in college and beyond. Each year, our graduates return to tell us how extremely well prepared they are for college. While many of their classmates and fellow dorm dwellers are scratching their heads about how to write a critical analysis or survive in a college math class, our students tell us time and again that they are not only undaunted by the assignments, but are also tutoring their friends to ensure their success. We posed the question, were you prepared for college? On our Facebook page to the graduates, and received many, many replies. But let me share two. One graduate said, I think Trinity prepared me very well for college, mostly because the school is a lot like college. The assignments and high expectations on the students are very similar. In most cases, I was over-prepared, and even though I was in a good school, NYU, I was finding that basic core classes were repeating concepts I had already learned in the upper school. Another graduate said, I was incredibly well prepared for college as a result of TPS because Trinity let me grow as an individual. Far from being just one more student, Trinity helped me develop in a way that tolerated and even celebrated my many quirks, which many years later I have found to be my greatest strengths. Because I was allowed to grow in this way, I already knew who I was when I reached college and was able to make the most of that opportunity from day one. The mission of the upper school curriculum is to offer current and diverse college preparatory courses and activities. This is accomplished by providing a variety of courses that consider the varying ability levels of our students. Continuing the use of technology in the classroom as our teachers continue to integrate digital media and resources in the classroom in order to fully prepare our students for their futures in the ever-changing landscape of technology and life. Offering advanced placement courses in all curriculum areas except phys ed. Sustaining a variety of support services for students with learning differences or those who just need an academic boost. Evaluating the students using a variety of assessment tools and meeting the academic expectation of the universities and colleges to which our students seek admission. Our academic program is challenging and doable. I like to repeatedly say that we raise the bar for our students, but then we provide a ladder to scale the wall. English and history courses are all honors level and advanced placement. Math, world languages, and science consist of 3 levels: college preparatory, honors, and AP, in which students can advance from one level to another if they meet the academic criteria. Students who excel in mathematics, and I'm talking about the A+ students, and are motivated to advance to an even higher level have summer options through Florida Virtual Schools. However, I do caution that this is only recommended for the truly gifted math students. Each of the 8 departments has unique characteristics that prepare our students for future success. The English department has an expansive range of reading and written assignments which provide the springboard for a life of inquisitiveness in pursuit of truth and beauty. The mathematics department provides a diversified college preparatory curriculum for students whose abilities range from average to the very gifted. The science department is dedicated to an active lab-based learning environment with lots and lots of hands-on activities and extensive and appropriate use of technology. The social science department follows a curriculum that allows content to be presented chronologically with a global approach and a balance of cultural diversity and American democratic values. The world language department uses the target language in all Spanish and French classes, always balancing the students' speaking, listening, and writing proficiencies as the ultimate goal. The computer department is ever evolving in their course selections, including studying graphics, multimedia, robotics, sports media, film, and programming. The Fine Arts Department demonstrates its commitment to creative expression and personal exploration, but I'll let Mrs. Papan explain more to you about that in a moment. The Physical Education Department offers a curriculum that stresses lifelong physical fitness skills. In your folder, you're going to find a sheet that's entitled The Academics, which highlights each curriculum department. If you have specific questions about curriculum offerings or advancement questions for your students, I encourage you to contact the department chairs. They are experts in those fields and are anxious to answer your questions. This year's curriculum guide can be found on the Trinity website, which lists all of the courses and descriptions that we offer, to include approximately 140 courses in 8 disciplines, including 25 advanced placement courses and 34 honors courses. A new highlight of the upper school curriculum this year is the addition of the MSON course offerings. As you're aware, Trinity is a member of the Malone Scholars Program, and we are a Malone school. And this year, the Malone School's online network began. We currently have students who are taking advanced computer programming, honors abstract math, advanced multivariable calculus, honors meteorology, Arabic 1, and one student is taking advanced Chinese 5. The courses meet in our new Immersive Technology Center and are taught by teachers from Stanford Online High School and other Malone schools in the network. Each course has a blended approach combining synchronous instruction, real-time video conferencing, with asynchronous instruction, recorded lectures, and the exercises students complete outside of the class. There is an insert in the school profile which further explains this tremendous opportunity that we're able to offer our students. In your folder, you will find several academic handouts, the overview of the departments, a list of elective courses, and a course of study planning sheet, which gives an overview of course progression throughout the upper school years. That's the blue sheet. I don't want that to scare you, because on the back, it has a plan where you sit down with your students and figure out, and they'll be working with their advisors, about what their progression will be through high school. Nothing is etched in granite when they do it. In other words, this is just the first time they will do this. Every year they will fill that out. And as they work their way through the upper school curriculum, they're going to find their passions, and they're going to know things that they want to take and some things that they thought they wanted to do that they don't want to do. It also gives you a plan that if you really think you want your student, or your student thinks that he or she wants to be in AP Calculus before they graduate, you can work backwards and figure out what they have to get there. Okay? So, and on the front, it just gives a normal progression of courses. Finally, there is an ever-present myth that you can't get into college unless you have really high grades. In other words, if my student goes to public school and makes straight A's, they're going to get into the college of their choice. That simply is not true. Mr. Johnson will be talking to you about that, but included in your folder is a list of our college acceptances that our students have received for the past 3 years, grouped by GPAs. I encourage you to review this list at your leisure. There are many, many colleges and university options for our students. But I emphasize that each year, our students return to tell us how well qualified they are for the college experiences they are having, regardless of the school they are attending or the student's GPA upon graduation. We take seriously our mission statement, which states, in part, we develop students who will excel in college and in life. I'll be here to answer more questions at the end of the program. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. Lester Johnson, co-director of college counseling. In my department, there are 3 college counselors, 2 co-directors, and a college counselor. And then we also have with us the registrar, who is also a college counseling assistant. We are about to publish a list of recent college acceptances, and I just want to share some of that with you. The current senior class consists of about 129 seniors. And the list that we're about to publish through our weekly Notes from the Quad will sound something like this. Elon University, Florida State University, Stetson University, University of North Florida, George Mason University, Clemson, Birmingham Southern, Duke, Indiana University Bloomington, Miami University Ohio, University of Georgia, University of Wisconsin, Auburn University, University of Alabama, and I wonder if I should have mentioned those 2 back to back, Cornell University, George Washington University, Baylor, East Coastal Carolina University, North Carolina State University, Purdue, Vanderbilt, Southern Methodist, Tulane, Loyola Chicago, University of Tennessee, Hofstra, Lynn, Texas Christian, University of Oregon, Lafayette College, University of Denver, University of South Carolina, University of New Haven, Princeton University, University of Chicago, University of Michigan, McDaniel College, Stanford University, Loyola Marymount University, Mercer University, Georgia Tech, Case Western, University of Pennsylvania, Emory, Boston College, Notre Dame, University of Illinois, Columbia University, UM, University of Miami, Howard University, Spelman College, Santa Clara University, Fordham University, Yale University, Weinberg University, Durham University, United Kingdom, University of Exeter, United Kingdom, University of York, United Kingdom, Stetson University, St. Joe's University, St. Louis University, NYU, the Tisch School. Our students are looking broadly across the United States. There are well over 2,000 four-year colleges in the U.S. Listening to the media, you would think that there's a scarcity of colleges in the U.S. and there's a tiny number of schools. I refer to them sometimes as the usual suspects. But there really are 2,000 schools, and the average admit rate in the United States is over 66%. Our students typically apply to about 6.5 colleges, rounded up to 7. We discourage a scattershot approach to applying to schools. Our philosophy is based on best fit. There are multiple good fits for every student at Trinity. And so we work with our students and their families where they are. If a student has high aspirations, we're there to support that. If a student is, whatever the spectrum of GPA, whatever the spectrum of test scores are, there are multiple good fits for every student. I've been at Trinity 7 years, and there's one student who's in my advisory who by choice, because he was starting up his own business, I'm friends with him today on Facebook, who chose not to go on to college. But every student, we have 100% every year. We sort of measure our success in terms of happiness, as opposed to some artificial notion of, well, first choice college, second choice college. Well, that's a shifting notion, and it shifts as the senior year progresses. So we ask our students essentially, what's your degree of happiness with your matriculating college? And typically, our students tell us in May, when we go into the classroom and survey them, we have anywhere from 97%, 95 to 97% degree of happiness with their matriculating college. In my 7 years here at Trinity, we send out very few transcripts for students who seek to who want to transfer. There's a little bit of that, but it's very, very little. So to me, what that translates into is that our students are being well matched with the college of choice at the exploration process and the application process and their experiences. Now, occasionally you'll get a parent or student who contact you freshman year. They're really homesick, but they may not recognize that. And the parent will voice some concern about the son or the daughter. We say, well, give them a little bit more time, wait till Christmas and see what happens. And almost invariably, that transformative experience freshman year starts to take hold, and the parent is lucky to have that student home for the first summer. All right, so what do we do? Well, we engage our students developmentally. We are about to, just recently, advisory assignment this week was for the freshman class to come up with questions for a panel of seniors. And again, these will be seniors from a broad spectrum of interests, academic interests, extracurricular interests. And some of the questions they'll pose to seniors consist of, well, and the freshmen generate the questions. How do you balance sports, school, and social activities? What advice do you have for someone who is struggling to get everything done? How did college counseling affect your college decision process? I'm glad they included that question. What was your most critical experience in preparation for college? What is the best way to study for the SAT and ACT? Did you get into the colleges that you expected to get into when you were a freshman? Does the second semester of senior year get easier if you get into colleges, etc.? So there'll be a panel of seniors addressing the freshmen who will be here in the auditorium, sharing their experiences, talking about their summer enrichment, their summer extracurricular activities, talking about time management, talking about what they might do differently if they were freshmen all over again. So 9th grade, we have the senior panel question. We don't engage the freshmen directly the fall of their freshman year. We're kind of stealthy, sort of invisible hand. Through advisory, they're doing things like time management and study skills activities. That's us. But they don't necessarily know that that's us. Then second semester, again, the first thing we'll do with them in a matter of weeks or so, the advice panel. Then within the third week in February, we'll get them for 2 sections of their English, and they'll go on to a website and do a career interest survey, like a Myers-Briggs. So when you go to grocery shopping, do you work from a list, or do you usually buy what catches your eye? Those kind of questions, or when you go maybe music shopping would be more germane sort of example. Then we'll also talk to them about, well, what's a cumulative GPA, Mr. Johnson? What does that mean? So that way they're thinking about the cumulative effect of their performance over the course of 3 years of high school, because the transcript that goes out is 6 semesters the first 3 years. We have a college fair every year that we co-host on February 22nd. There'll be some discussion advisory for them to generate questions for those folks. Good. Also remind them about good eye contact, firm handshake, peel and stick labels so they can put their names on the card so they can get information. Eventually, they'll start getting more stuff in the mail than you probably care to receive. So the freshman program, again, is subtle, it's gentle, where the goal is not to ramp up any stress whatsoever, because we really want them to adjust to high school and how to make the most of high school. Sophomore year, our students take the PSAT for practice. We don't recommend test prep for that PSAT. It doesn't go anywhere, it's really diagnostic, that PSAT. Sophomore year. And then we send a mailing home with some suggestions in terms of what the family and students should be thinking about vis-a-vis the results. We're big advocates of students who might love NASCAR to read about NASCAR in the New York Times. For example, the Wall Street Journal, if a student loves fashion, read about fashion in those sophisticated national newspapers. That's test prep, folk. You don't have to wait till junior year to do test prep. And they're reading serious literature in English, so rather than giving them another thick book, short articles, sophisticated newspapers, and you want to ask them, well, are you picking up any new words? They should be, because it's the Times, it's the Wall Street Journal, compound complex sentences. And then second semester, sophomore year, they engage our primary counseling tool, and it's called Naviance. And there are all sorts of things that we do with our students on Naviance. But what it does is it gives them an opportunity to explore colleges, virtual visits, etc. And then there's another career, personality, interest survey that sophomore year. Then they'll also start getting emails on summer enrichment. So, for example, the student is anticipating that they're applying to college and they want to say they're interested in engineering. Somewhere along that high school career, they should be gravitating towards extracurriculars that sort of are translatable to engineering. Habitat House. Also, we encourage them to engage you all with your network of connections and folks that you may know, so they can get their foot in the pool of these areas of interest. And then college visits, where we begin to encourage that. Informal college visits, if you're driving to visit family, do a drive-by. See, and also if you're looking to incentivize your student, having them visit the college that they're really interested in, maybe because of March Madness or college football, okay, go visit that campus, and then that may be an incentive for them to do the academic push-ups that you want to see him or her do. Then come junior year. Junior year is a 9-month dress rehearsal. Essentially, our juniors go through the college application process in many bite sizes over the course of the 9 months. 2 college essays, a college resume, extracurriculars, a practice common application, and all that they do, we give feedback on all that work, and we keep a copy in our file. The student keeps a copy, so when the fall of senior year rolls around, been there, done that. It's not new to them, they've seen it before. It's a matter of polishing what they've already done. And then in junior year, they're allowed to meet with the more than 100 college reps that visit our campus every year. We are the premier college prep in Central Florida, I'll just say that. And they want to come and meet with our students, and we get over 120 or so college reps every single fall. And we encourage our juniors to meet with them. And then they are able to meet with them again the fall of senior year. Then senior year rolls around, and all that they did in 9 months gets compressed into 6 to 8 weeks in the fall of senior year. From mid-August, the first day of school, we talked to administration into giving us that first day with the seniors. It's a 1-day boot camp in which we help them shake the cobwebs from the summer and get in gear for the college process. And then by Thanksgiving, most of our students have applied to their colleges and are done. Then we're talking to them about then we're reminding them that senioritis is not your friend. You may be done with your college effort, but you're not done with your high school career and your performance. So it's a great place to work. We have a really wonderful team. We're very hands-on with our students. Some of our students are so self-propelled that we have to reel them in so they can keep us abreast of what's going on. Other students, they'll have lunch at our desk so they can get through the various steps that they need to get through. So wherever your student is in the spectrum of mindset, developmental needs, etc., we work with the spectrum of students, and all of our students are getting into colleges, and we help our families work with a balanced school list. Just last night we had our annual financial aid program, and families are finding that of use. When I first came, we weren't having that. Then this is the second year in which we've just had close to 100 people coming for the financial aid. So I just want to lastly point your attention to the school profile. It's kind of like our report card, and we're really proud of it. If you look on the back, you get a sense of where our students are going to school. We're a fairly young school, founded in '68. And we have a pretty nice imprint across the continental U.S. in terms of where our students are going to college. And Yeah, again, if you have any questions afterwards, I'm here to answer those for you. And just know that we have students with a whole lot of APs getting into colleges, and we have students with 0 APs getting into multiple colleges that are good fits for them. So I thank you for your time, and I look forward to answering any questions you might have afterwards.
Thank you, Lester. We're just taking a little bit of time now to take you outside of the classroom and talk a little bit about extracurriculars. So I've asked Drew Nemec, our Assistant Athletic Director, and Janine Papan will also come up and talk to you a little bit about our Fine Arts program, and then Dawn Ferguson, in that order, will talk to you a little bit about clubs and activities in the upper school.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Drew Nemec. I am the Assistant Athletic Director here at Trinity Prep, and I've been asked to talk to you a little bit about the differences between middle school athletics and upper school athletics. First of all, in the upper school athletics, on the male side, we offer a total of 17 JV and varsity sports for our athletes. For females, same thing, a total of 17 JV and varsity teams that your student athletes can go out for. Approximately 70% of our student body participate in at least one sport in the upper school, and that's very impressive. Some of the differences between middle school and upper school in regards to athletics, one of the first things is practice. In middle school, those of you who've had student athletes who've practiced, we limit their time, number of days that they practice, and the amount of time. When you get to the upper school, the JV level, you're going to be practicing a little bit longer. You're going to be practicing more days. And then when you get to the varsity level, obviously you're going to be practicing up to 6 days a week and a little bit longer time at practices. Plus the seasons are much longer in the upper school than they are in the middle school. We participate philosophically in the upper school JV, wanting to expand on the fundamentals that they have learned in middle school, try different sports, and try to be more competitive, find what their niche is. When they get to the varsity level, they are going to be competing for district, regional, and state championships with the FHSAA. For those of you who are not familiar, the FHSAA is the governing body for Florida high school athletics, and we are a proud member. We are one of the only schools in the state of Florida that has won all 3 of their prestigious awards: the All Sports Award, the All Academic Award, and the Sportsmanship Award, something that we are very, very proud of. A lot of people ask, can you balance athletics and academics? The answer is absolutely. Over the last 4 years, we have sent 55 of our student athletes to play collegiate sports from Division I through Division III. That averages out to between 11 and 12% of our senior class going on to play different sports. I also emphasize that it's not just sports that are here at Trinity Prep. I work with the college counseling department, which I'll describe in just a minute, and we talk about student athletes who want to participate at the next level. Over the years, the college counseling department has put me in charge of learning things such as crew, fencing, squash, which, trust me, we do not offer here, but I have learned an awful lot, and we have sent students on. In fact, this week we sent a young lady on to George Washington for squash. So it's not just the sports that we offer here at Trinity, it's sports that they are interested in even outside that we help them get into. For several years, the college counseling and the athletic office have worked together to identify student athletes who are interested in pursuing their collegiate careers. First of all, we emphasize, especially in the sophomore year, identifying student athletes who have an interest in possibly participating. We talk to them about the importance of finding a match academically first and having athletics as a tool to help them get into that school. We have a workshop that we work with in which we have athletes that have already committed it and are going on to colleges talk to the student athletes who are interested in the lower levels. When you get to the junior year, we set up meetings, one with the parents, one with the student athletes, the coach, maybe it's the club coach, myself, or someone who else is an NCAA representative to make sure that they are doing everything they need to do to be successful. So we're very proud of the athletic program that we have here at Trinity Prep. We have multiple sports, multiple athletes that play multiple sports. One of the things that we have is an outstanding and experienced coaching staff in the upper school, and we really emphasize the student athletes having a positive experience in learning lifelong lessons on the athletic courts, the fields, the pool, various places that they play that they really cannot learn in the classroom, and I think that benefits them a great deal. Once again, I will be around afterwards if you have any questions. I'll be more than welcome to answer them. Thank you.
Apologize for the bad sound, but when there's zaps to like a surge, it shuts things off and mutes stuff. I'd like to say actually it was just you, Dennis. Your magneticism was just messing with the microphone, but no, I fixed it eventually, sorry. Anyway, so the arts is just, it's all about opportunity here. And already, you know, you guys are looking a little sleepy, so just to get you excited, it's all in middle school, but there's so much more in upper school. There's so much more that there's no way that you could possibly even do it. But you can at least dabble in all sorts of different things. There's a place for everyone, and the arts obviously offer a great creative outlet, but it's a wonderful place for self-expression and self-discovery. Not in middle school, but just in high school, the kids can do photo and they can also do yearbook. In art, there's just so many more classes in drawing and painting and ceramics. I have to also plug the fact that our faculty are fabulous artists themselves. So I think that that's a great way to learn from people who actually can do it, not just talk about it. We've got music and strings and the vocal groups and band and theater, which I can tell you a whole lot about. We mount at least 5 main stage productions a year, and that's just for high school. We have a really thriving thespian team that competes district-wise and state-wise. We have taken groups to Scotland to participate in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival twice now, and the goal is to get back there again in the summer of 2016. There are just tons and tons and tons of creative outlets here at the school. And actually, and just to plug the fact that I was lucky enough to have 3 of my 4 kids go to high school here, and they were so over-prepared for freshman year, but they were given the tools and the self-esteem and the fabulous education that I believe that really promoted their success and got jobs immediately, all those wonderful things that we hope as parents that they do. And I do believe that all those study habits, and if you're going to be at Trinity and participate in all that we have, you've got to have those study habits. And I do think that the teachers work one-on-one. We've got a great advisory program, so we're all in their business, and we can talk to the kids, and we can talk, and when there's problems, and we can let you guys know. So there's a lot of great here. So if there's any questions for me, I will be here later, and I'm going to pass the mic on so that we can expedite this.
Hi. Well, almost done, right? I'm Dawn Ferguson. I am Director of Upper School Student Activities, but I also have the privilege of being a teacher here. I teach a lot of 8th graders right now in ceramics, and I can tell you that they're absolutely excited about becoming high school students. They are so excited, and they may not show it at home, but they're really excited. And when they get here, when they get to high school, we've got over 30 clubs and organizations ready for them, and if in a variety of interests. And if they can't find one that they feel fits their interest, we encourage them to start their own club and work with faculty here to make that happen. Part of Student Council is planning and organizing events on campus. And you everything from a movie in the quad to lunchtime ping pong tournaments for a little, mental break. And this Saturday we have our upper school talent show. So we're busy making sure that there's things on campus for students to do who are interested in doing them. And I get the privilege of working with students like Alex Nebel, who spoke with you earlier, and helping direct them and plugging them into things that fit well for them. So in all those clubs and organizations too, there are wonderful opportunities for students to have leadership positions if they desire them. And most of the differences between upper school and middle school clubs is that they have more opportunities in terms of they can be part of more clubs. They can also be part of a club that they know is most likely going to have a service component. So they are involved in the community or in a mission or cause. And they get community service hours for a lot of their time they spend doing that. I can't speak enough about how many opportunities there are to do that, and we certainly try really hard through our a club fair to plug kids in, to let them know what's available, and then we'll do everything we can to make sure that your student feels comfortable and has an outlet for their interests, their causes, their missions through our clubs and organizations.
We'll test the magnetism. Apparently she's right. So that's really overall the program. I just wanted to add a couple of more things. And as I said, interestingly enough, I've been here for 18 years. This is my 18th or 19th year at Trinity Prep. I've been in the middle school as a teacher. I've been in the middle school as an administrator. I've been in the upper school as an administrator. I've been a coach. I've been a math teacher in the upper school and the middle school. I've been the assistant headmaster, and maybe it's time for me to do something else. I don't know, but it's an amazing place. And I sit here and listen to all the things that are available to students here, and then I think about the accomplishments that they have achieved over the years. And when I spoke in the beginning about the sacrifice of tuition and what that means as a family, and what you're giving to the school and trusting in the school to give back and work with your students. And we have 500 to 520 students in the upper school every year. And as Lester, I believe, mentioned, 129 seniors this year. And last year, the senior class got $11.5 million in financial aid to go to college. And so when you start thinking about your investment, in your child's education, generally you're going to pay somewhere. And sometimes paying for a wonderful independent school experience that we believe we offer at this time can save you far more money than you imagine in the long run. So $11.5 million for 129 kids that were offered. Also, 70 to 72% of our students are participating in athletics. And they won the 3A All-Academic Award for the highest GPA in all varsity sports. And they're going to the most difficult, rigorous prep school that some people think we have here at Trinity Prep. We win awards in our newspaper. We win awards in thespian contests. Our students are very, very talented, and they get it all here, and they are part of it in some way, shape, or form. And so really, it's clearly, to me, because I work here, and to, I think, most of our parents, that the investment that we all make as parents in providing opportunities for our students are well worth it. The investments that our students are making, the time they're putting in to preparing in the long run is going to be so rewarding to them that we can't sometimes even imagine that at this time. But we all know it's there. We hear from them all the time. And so I really encourage you as I look out, I see a lot of familiar faces, so I know people have been here for a long time and have had many children go through here. And I want to end on this because I thought it was interesting. I was thinking about the advisory program, which is similar in the upper school. We do have students are assigned an advisor in the 9th grade. They are single-gender advisories in the 9th grade, and then in the 10th grade they're assigned an advisor for 10, 11, grades 10, 11, and 12. And so I take one of the things I like doing. I can't go to the classroom anymore due to the demands of my job, but I still have an advisory group, and so I get to spend some time with the 11 or 12 students. I have 12 in my advisory, and today I had table topics. Okay. Now, if you go into an advisory group of juniors and you say, we're going to do table topics today, everybody gather around. They're going to throw things at you, right? Because they don't want to do it. All they want to do is have donuts and muffins and drink orange juice and say, you know, we already work hard here. Why do we want to work for 20 minutes or 25 minutes this morning? So how do I do it? Because I'm going to do it. And I have a son that goes here. He's in the 10th grade, and he doesn't have me as his advisor, thank goodness. But he knows that I'm going to do it. And so I have to find a way to do it. And how I do it is I sit down and I take the first little table topic card and I read the question and I answer it. And so I tell them how I feel about whatever the topic is. And I'm telling you, it works. And they'll complain. They'll tell you, if you ask any of my 12 advisors, Mr. Heron makes us do table topics. Okay, that's horrible. But guess what? They all talk. They all talk about their experiences, and they walk away and they did it. And I have them for 3 years, and I can tell in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade that I've had just a really, really small impact on that. But their ability to articulate and to think and to share is amazing. And they do that because of the opportunities they have here and the wonderful teachers that they have an opportunity to be influenced by. So that's enough. I think you've sat long enough, and I thank you for your attention. And I will say one other thing is February 3rd and the 7th, which is the first week of February, we are giving the students an opportunity to visit an upper school class. So I told them that on Thursday they'll be getting sign-ups in their advisory. I think they actually got them today. So if you want to talk to them over the weekend, it needs to be back to us by Monday, preferably Friday, but Monday would work. They're allowed to visit a class. If they really, really want to visit 2 classes, then they can put 2 classes down, a core class and an elective class. And we'll set up a schedule for them to do that on February 3rd and February 7th so they can go visit. It's not mandatory. If your son or daughter says, I don't want to do it, I know I'm coming to Trinity next year, that's fine. They don't have to do it, but we'd like you to have that back to us by Monday so we can set that up for them. I think it's a good opportunity for them if they want to take advantage of that. So thank you very much for your attention, and I think I'll have Ms. Penton come back up. But if you have any questions now for the group, we'd be happy to take questions and try to answer them. We have enough people here with answers. Yes, sir.
This question is for Mr. Jackson. You mentioned Johnson. Well, sounds like, yes. You mentioned how successful you are with matching college fit, and you mentioned how you interview students and hire students and whatnot, assess the student's personality. But how do you assess the college's personality? How do you match that college with the student? How do you know which college is semester?
Everybody hear that question? He's basically saying he meets with students and uses different assessments to find out their needs, but how does he actually know and match the college to the student? Is that good?
One of the great things about working here at Trinity is that when it's appropriate for us to be away from the office, each of the 3 college counselors get to visit. We visit, on average, about 10 to 12 colleges per counselor per year. And so, for example, back in October, after the brunt of the fall for me was done, Dr. Dryden and myself, we both went and visited the University of Chicago, Notre Dame, and Purdue. So we're actually first-hand sort of observers and engagers on these college campuses, and we bring that information back. But we're also empowering students and parents with information about how to have successful college visits. So, for example, there's a handout we give. There's a conversation we give. We send weekly emails to all of our juniors, weekly emails to all of our seniors. Some folks find it too much. And with prompts, when you're visiting campus, plan ahead. If you want to meet with someone in the engineering department, you'd want to plan ahead. Also, look for signs of deferred maintenance. Are new buildings going up? That's a sign that the alumni are donating and money's coming in because there are new buildings going up. So we help our families and students be informed observers. I don't say consumers. I don't want to use that metaphor too much, but informed evaluators of campuses. So we don't necessarily tell folks where to apply. So, for example, many students will have an idea, families will have an idea of where they want to go. They don't want to be, some folks anywhere but Florida, some folks anywhere but where it's cold. And so, we say, well, what part of the country, what you're interested in, small school, public school, urban, suburban, etc. And then we will help suggest schools for the family to go and visit online, visit in person. About half the schools on the students' list, they visited in person, and the other half they have not. And that's about a fair balance to help them sort of sift and sort.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
I did fail to introduce one person. I didn't even give him an opportunity to speak. Mr. Dave Langdon is our upper school dean of students and coach at the school and a history teacher. And he's here tonight if you have any questions for him at the end. I apologize, Dave, for not remembering to introduce you. Can't make him sit there the whole night without at least introducing him. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on putting two kids already through Trinity and having a third year. When you talked about the fit for the college and how do you have any type of program, or could you implement a program where kids can find out what their interests were? For instance, if someone said, I like math and science, and you said engineering would be a good fit for you. I'm sure there's tons of parents here that are engineers or attorneys or physicians, what have you. Is there a way that the kids could go to a program like that when they're juniors and see what they're interested in? Because you hate for kids to get into a great engineering school in their first or second year saying, you know what, that's actually not what I thought it was. So how do you think students that are 16 or so can find out more about their career?
Since we actually, part of it's actually I won't say a pet project of Mr. Herron's, but we have a career leadership speaker series, and we've had folks here from lawyers, doctors, engineers, a Disney person who went and traveled to Africa who brought the animals into Disney. The Disney theme parks. So we do have our career leadership speaker series as well. So we have that, and also we encourage the summer enrichment and engaging folks in those conversations, and also those surveys that the freshmen do, and then followed with another survey in sophomore year. That information is shared with parents and students as well to help, because basically it's an inner journey, and it sort of unpacks what's in the recesses of the student's subconscious to some degree. So that way the results will say, well, because you answered the questions in this manner, you seem more aligned with the left side of the brain type activities or the right side of the brain type activities, and then we're encouraging extracurricular engagement in those areas, because that's the extracurriculars is part of the exploration as well, because of the skill sets that they're practicing in those things.
We also offer some opportunities for our students to participate in internships, science internships at various places in the community. So I actually, is a pet project of mine. The speaker series or leadership speaker series has evolved over time, and we have 3 of those during the year, and anywhere from 1 to 2 speakers during that time frame. And we've managed to kind of design it so that the speaker speaks for about 20 minutes, and then there's a 10 or 15 minute time frame afterwards for interested students to stay behind and have a question and answer period with the speaker. So, and we do try to bring speakers from a large variety of backgrounds and careers. And we run that actually, just so you know, through our development office is Ms. Johnston in there and Ms. Wisniewski try to help us find speakers. And so if you are involved in certain areas, in certain careers, and are interested in maybe coming to the school and speaking about that, or you know someone, we certainly would be open to hearing about that and talking to you about that, because we do like to have those opportunities for our students to speak to folks from different career fields.
One of the most popular persons to come in was the gentleman from the FBI. The man was so good we had to come back a year and a half later. Yeah.
Other questions? Now that the students are starting to come back, I know what that means. No other questions? I guess we gave you all the information you needed. So thank you very much for coming, and feel free if you'd like to ask a question of one of us before you leave. Have a great night, and we're also available, just so you know, during the week, give us a call. Their contacts are available. Thank you.